Hey everyone, this is Big Mike, and this is my review of The Joker. I just got back from the theater, and let me say, I had very low expectations for this movie. I really felt that it was kind of a pointless movie because it wasn't part of the DCEU. It was kind of a, retelling of an old story or, a reimagining. And that I knew it was going to be a set piece or period piece, set in the 80s, and that we weren't going to have Batman. Thomas Wayne was rumored to be in it. And, we're going to have a young Bruce basically at this point. Thomas Wayne is still alive. His parents, he was still going to be really little. So I had really little expectations. There was a lot of Oscar, buzz around Joaquin Phoenix's performance, which, I felt was warranted. He's a great actor. So, I went into this movie with no expectations. It was like, okay, let's see what we get. So don't worry. First of all, it's going to be a non-spoiler review. I'm not going to spoil anything. I may do a spoiler review later, or I might just leave it non-spoiler and just ask, down in the comments what you guys think later. But let's jump into it. So, how was the movie? Honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. This is more of a drama. Don't expect a lot of action, even though there is some, littered throughout, little bits and pieces here and there. But this is mostly a drama. And it's more of like a descent into madness for Joaquin Phoenix's character of Arthur Fleck. It's very interesting as well. I mean, it's almost like a tragedy, like a Shakespearean tragedy. That's how the movie plays out. And it also kind of reminds you of like Taxi Driver when you think about like the descent into madness. It was very well performed by Joaquin Phoenix. The movie starts out, as you can see from the trailers, he's taking care of his mother. He's working as a clown, odd jobs here and there. He's constantly, berated, bullied, beat up. I mean, his life is just crap, basically. And he's already got, mental issues. He's mentally unstable. And then, he breaks, he snaps. And we get the Joker because of that. Like I said, this movie was actually very well done. It was a very good drama. It didn't stick to any of the comic storylines per se. I can see this being like an Elseworld type story, like the Elseworld Joker. How maybe this whole thing started. Now a lot of people are say every time we talk about a new Joker, it's like, okay, is it going to be Heath Ledger's version? Is it going to beat that? Is it going to be anywhere near it? Everyone's always talking about, is it going to be, Heath Ledger is going to beat Heath Ledger. Honestly, I could not put Joaquin Phoenix's performance, next to Heath Ledger's. I couldn't really compare the two. They're so vastly different. And, even the characters are vastly different. I really couldn't do that. Because in The Dark Knight, I mean, you had these characters of the Joker and Batman who were relatively, the same age, and, they kind of played off of each other. In this movie, like I said, set in the 80s, Bruce Wayne is a little kid in this movie. So there is no Batman, to the Joker. There is no Joker to the Batman. It's just, hey, this is this guy's story and his fall into madness. So I can't really put those two together, and they played them totally different as well. And I don't think one was played better than the other. I just think these two Jokers are so vastly different, I couldn't put them in the same category. Now, I talked this movie up about how great it was. It actually was. It's a really, really good movie. Really solid performance by Joaquin Phoenix. I can really get the Oscar buzz. I can see why there's a lot of Oscar buzz. I wouldn't be surprised if Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar. Great performance. Now let's talk about the things I didn't like. The things I didn't like is just because I'm a comic book nerd. I've been reading comics since I was 7 years old. I'm pretty well versed in DC and Marvel comics. So, and Batman is actually one of my favorite characters. So that being said, I can't see how this version of the Joker could work with Batman. Let's start number one. Arthur Fleck at the start of this movie, and even by the end of the movie, I mean, at least mid-40s. Let's just say he's mid-40s, right? Bruce is a little kid. By the time he grows up and becomes Batman, Arthur Fleck is going to be almost 60 years old. Like, how is he going to go toe-to-toe with Batman? Like, that kind of doesn't make sense. That's why I can say I can see this more so as an Elseworld type story, to where maybe he inspires the Joker that actually fights this universe's Batman. Like in the comics, they actually like retconned the Joker's story a few years back. I think it was New 52, where they said it was like three separate Jokers at three different like times, you know, not at one time, but there was actually three separate Jokers. So maybe in this universe, Arthur Fleck is kind of like that spark that started the whole Joker thing. And maybe when, you know, Bruce becomes Batman, we'll get that character who maybe even falls into the vat of Ace Chemicals and becomes that version of the Joker. And maybe he calls himself the Joker based off of Arthur Fleck or Joaquin Phoenix's character in this movie. So that's mainly my gripe with it. It's just that it's so far off from the lore. I can't see this Joker, this version of Joker, ever fighting a Batman. Ever. It doesn't make sense to me. But honestly, that's my only gripe. So, and that's just me as a comic book nerd. So that's actually saying a lot for this film, saying that, hey, it's actually a really good film, and that my gripe is just because I'm a geek. So let me know what you guys think. Once you check the movie out, put your comments down below. I love to read them. I'll respond to them. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications for all my latest content. And once again, thanks for watching, and see you next time.